dear creatives, welcome to another interesting online tutorial. I'm so excited. I'm always excited. I'm sure you know my regular lines by now. I'm always excited to have you in class. Thank you so much for joining in. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a beautiful Aso Oke bow headband. It's very easy to make, and it's, you know, something unique and different from our regular tying your auto gele, tying your gele to the owambe party, weddings. It can be worn on your native dresses like your gowns, your English wear, and I just love it because Aso Oke is very versatile, and you can do whatever it is you like with it. So here are the materials I'm going to be needing for this design, and of course the first of all is my Aso Oke, and this Aso Oke is half bundle. This is half bundle, but the truth is you can manage half bundle to make 2 headbands, okay, if you don't want it to be too full. But the truth is you're not going to use all of this for 1 headband. That's not possible. It's going to be too heavy, so you'll be having leftover for another project. And also I have my trimming right here, which I'm going to be embellishing the front part of my bow, and of course I'll be combining it with this trimming that I have right here. So I have my 6 inches crinoline. 6 inches width crinoline is what I have right here. Okay, this is actually 6.5, but there are some that are 6 inches. Okay, so if it is 6 inches or 6.5, that's fine. This is another type right here. Okay, so but of course make sure you get the wide one that is equivalent to the same width of your Aso Oke. This is 6.5 and this also is 6.5. I hope you see that. So that is why I'm deciding to combine both, because they are of the same width and of course the same color, except you want to have a contrast, like you want 2 different colors or a combination. That's also fine. And also you'll be needing your Alice band, and this Alice band is the Alice band is the wide one, which is 1.5. How do you know wide Alice band? You know it from the midpoint right here. This upper part is wider than some are 1 inch, some are ½ inch, but this is 1.5. So you need one of this, and also you will need your matching thread, and then your hand sewing needle, and of course you will need your bias tape. But you can also use this trimming to replace your bias tape if you want to cover up the inner part of your Alice band right here. And I have my hot glue gun right here, which I'm going to be using to secure and glue some parts together. And I have my fan feathers right here. This is the longest fan feathers. Okay, so fan feathers is because of the shape, the way it's spread out. That is why it's called fan feathers. And I have it in the matching color of golden yellow together with my Aso Oke and my crinoline. And of course I have my soldering iron right here. Soldering iron is very good when you want to cut out fabrics, trimmings, anything whatsoever. And I love to use soldering iron to cut my Aso Oke. Why? Because I don't like the way the Aso Oke usually frays anytime you cut it out. So I use this to cut my Aso Oke. So by the time I'm done cutting, I don't have to deal with threads all over the place. And please, if you want to use your soldering iron, ensure that you have something that is as thick as these tiles right here. Can you see, like a ceramic or a glass platform where you can cut it? Don't cut directly on your table, please. You can cut on the floor, just clean, you know, if you have a bare floor, or you get like a glass top that you can put your Aso Oke on before you start to cut, or a metallic surface will also suffice. Like it will be okay if you have a metallic surface. So quickly, let's go right into this lesson. Okay, so before you start making your bow, the first thing you want to do is to cut out one side of the Aso Oke. If you notice that I marked just a straight line so that this line can guide my cutting. Okay, you plug your soldering iron and you want to ensure that you put it in a metallic cup like this, or a metallic platform. Okay, so that you don't spoil anything. And then you place it on and ensure that you follow the line. It's very easy to use, very easy to use, and saves you the time and stress, and of course it will help you to maximize your Aso Oke. So in case you're making your auto gele and you usually have that issue of your Aso Oke fraying, you know, and reducing in length, so this can help you. So can you see that? So the edges are automatically sealed, so no fraying whatsoever. Can you see? This would fray, this would not. So the next thing you want to do is to start to create your bow. Okay, so now that we have cut this part, the next thing is you want to create your bow, and you alone can determine how big you want your bow to be or how small. For me, I'm not going to make it too small and too big, and that is why I'm not using any measurement whatsoever, because it's a long fabric that I'm just going to be folding on each other. So just watch me as I fold. If the outcome of this is too small for you, you can just fold it by increasing your measurement. So you fold this way, okay, and then I fold again. Okay, let me start from the back part. Awesome. So this way you fold. Don't forget you're creating a bow, right? So fold. All right, so after folding, you just check the overall length for you to see if this is long enough for you. Can you see that? So you check like so. So this is okay, or you can increase it if you like. Okay, so I'm just checking. Now the next one that will come after it will be a little bit longer than the previous one. Did you see that? So just a little bit longer than the previous one. Excuse me. So there you go. And then I fold. So you notice this side is equal and this side is not equal. That is the design I want to create. Okay, so I fold again, and the third one will be longer than the previous one. Okay, and then the third fold. Okay, so I fold one more time, making the one underneath the same size as the previous one. So I have this two equal and this two not equal, and all of these sides here are equal. So for me, I'm done with this, and I'm going to just cut off my excess right here. So I've cut it out using my soldering iron, and then I'm going to loosen this, right, and then overlap with my crinoline and then fold it again. The reason why we folded that was so that we can know where we are going to cut our excess and then use our crinoline to cover. So you're going to start folding again the same way you folded the first one. Okay, so you fold together with the crinoline. Your crinoline will help your Aso Oke bounce, right? It will help it bounce. So that's why we are just attaching it, so that your Aso Oke is not, you know, wobbling and looking weak on your head. So you want it to have that bounce when you are done, and that is just the main reason why we are using the crinoline. So I'm going to continue to fold this the same way I folded the first one into a bowl. Into a bowl. So now my crinoline is under. I'm going to fold again. Don't forget we made this one a little bit longer than the one on top. So that is what I just did right here. Okay, so I fold again. Make sure you hold it in place. Okay. The next one is a little bit longer. You might need to reduce that, so that's just what I'm doing. I'm reducing it a little. Okay, so and this is the last fold right here. Don't forget that 1, 2 are not equal, and the 3 and the 4th one are on the same length. So this is just a freestyle design, and of course you want to have your thread handy. Sorry, your thread. I have my thread right here, which I'm going to be using to tie. So I'm just going to do like a bow or like a fold. I fold everything together like so. Okay. And then I'm going to tie. So you tie this as tightly as you can, multiple times until you are sure that it's properly secured. And you want to ensure that your thread is thick enough so that while you are tightening this, it does not cut, right? That is also important. So I'm tying, tie, and I'm done. I'm going to tie a knot. Do not cut your thread yet because you still need it to tie some more. So you want to make your thread as long as you can. not too long to the point where you won't be able to control it and it gets to tangle, but just make sure you have at least a reasonable length to be able to tie until you are satisfied that it's totally secure. Okay, so I'll cut this. I think I'm just going to leave this one because I will use it for something. Now this is the front side of my design of my bow. Okay, so I'm trying to open this up because I'm going to be shifting the last two that are on the same line. I'm going to be shifting them up. Okay, so this is going to take some effort, but you need to pull it up, yes, so that it can stand on its own. Like so. Okay, and also for the second one, you pull it up as well. Okay, so this comes to the front. Like this. And then I'm going to tie. So my thread is coming across this way so that it can keep this one that I pulled from that back side, so that I can keep it in front like this. Right, so your thread goes to this part right here just to hold it in place. It goes to the back. So I'm tying it tightly. And now I can cut my excess thread. Then you can arrange it as you like. Alright, so at this time, or at this point, I have tied this way. So don't forget that I tried raising this one up, but you can actually still glue it when you are done. But I just passed that thread so that it can be significant enough for me to know that, okay, this is the two parts that I want to stand right here. Okay, so now I'm going to cover up this middle part here, and then I'm going to measure my Aso Oke to be 4.5 inches, like so, and then I'm going to mark. 4.5. So I draw my straight line, and then I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so this is my cutout right here. So I'm going to fold the two sides in so that I can have just enough to cover up this part right here. Okay, so I'm folding it because I want to cover. Now the reason why you have to cover at this point is because you want your bow to have a flat base for you to be able to stay on your Alice band surface. Okay, that is very important. So I'm holding this down as it is, and then I'm going to tack. I'm pulling it as tightly as possible. Okay. And I'm holding it firmly. If you feel it's too wide, you can still fold it in some more. Now it's time for me to tack. You close up the edges very tightly, just like I'm doing right here. Okay, and then you move to the center. So you want to go in and out, in and out, all the way till you get to this edge right here. After you are done tacking this part, you want to secure this part that is flipping up downwards. So you press it down, holding it down to the side, and then I'm going to be using my needle and thread to make sure that it's totally flat. So you just pick the edges like so, and then you tack. Okay, don't worry about the rough edge. You're going to just use something really nice to cover that up, but for now you want it to remain as flat as possible, and that is why I am tacking it down. Okay, so I'll tack it all the way down. Can you see how flat it looks? So it's no longer flipping up. So I'll go ahead and cut my excess thread after tying the knots right here at the edge, and then we can proceed. Okay, so another beautiful about this beautiful headpiece is that you can turn this to be your right, this to be your right, anyway. But I think I prefer this to be my right, like the front, right? So I can just adjust this part to come to the center like this, and then I attach my feathers and then the Alice band. So I'm not going to glue this down yet because I want my feathers to be in between on this side and also at the back right here. So but I'm just styling to see how I want it to look like on my client. Okay, can you see that? Beautiful. So I'm going to put this aside while I cover my Alice band. Now to cover your Alice band, you're going to place the fabric on the tip of the Alice band, but you should have a little bit of an overlap, like 1 inch right there. So you place it down like this, and also you should have another overlap right here. So I'm going to use my chalk to mark So I have 1 inch spacing from the Alice band tip this way, and I have another 1 inch spacing on the other end right here. So I'm going to cut this off. Awesome. So now that I've cut it off, it's time for me to cover up my Alice band. So you're going to need your needle and thread. Okay. And then you need your glue. So first of all, you want to attach some glue . Sorry about that. Okay, so you want to attach some glue to the tip right there. Okay, to the tip so that you can cover this up. So you press it down just to hold the edges in place. Okay, you hold one edge in place with your glue, and also you hold the other edge in place with your glue as well. Nice. So you cover up that way so it's easier for you to work with. So you're just going to start using your needle and thread to tag this in. Okay, so I fold my Aso Oke in like so. You fold it in. And you can also decide to glue if you want to. So you fold it in, you hold it down, and then you start to tack. Just go in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, I hope you're seeing what I'm doing because... Okay, so you go in and out. And ensure that you are tacking right in the center so that your bias tape can easily cover it up. So you see what I'm doing right there. So you press it down. Okay, did you see that? You press it down and then you tack. So you just begin to tack. If gluing method is going to work for you, you can go ahead and use it as well. All right, but for me, I'm going to be using my stitching technique to cover up my Alice band. So I'm holding it down this way, and look at the front side, very smooth. Yes, so that is how it should be. So you're going to tack it in and out, in and out, in and out, and then just trim off your excess Aso Oke. But don't trim off yet until you are certain that you have properly covered your Alice band. So I'm going to continue to go in and out until I get to the end. So it's much easier when you first of all glue the two edges of the Alice band. Okay, you don't have to worry. Now another thing is you want to ensure that your stitch is in the middle. Don't let it be on one side. All right, ensure that it's centered. That is another thing. Ensure that it's centered, and don't pull too much. Yes, do not pull too much, because the more you pull, your Aso Oke will want to start opening up in the middle, and that is how to properly cover your Aso Oke. Sorry, how to properly use your Aso Oke to cover your Alice band. So I'm going to continue to tack till I get to the end, and then I will show you how it looks like before I cut off the excess Alice band. And please, I'm sorry, the excess Aso Oke. Please note that our videos are not for resale. If you have made payment to anyone, kindly contact the number on your screen. This video is not meant to be shared in any group at all. Okay, so I'll continue to tack all the way down. You see that I'm already having my Alice band forming right here. Okay, this is the other side. Beautiful. So I'm going to continue like this till I get to the end. So I'm done tacking, and I'm going to be using my soldering iron to cut it out. So you want to place it on the platform, and of course you have to be very, very careful at this part. Okay, you need to be very careful because you're trying to cut it out. So you're going to hold it in place. Can you see how it looks? So that is how I'm going to cut everything all the way down, and then we can move to the next stage. So I have cut it out, and now it's time for me to use my bias, or you can use your trimming as well to cover up. So you just apply your glue. press it down, and then you cover up all the way down. Okay, so this is how you're going to cover it all the way till you get to the end. So here we are. This is what I have right here, and this is the inside part. So beautiful, isn't it? Now it's time for me to attach this to my Alice band, and I'm just going to glue it like this, because I want it to be a little bit on the side. Okay, so it's time for me to attach. So I'm going to be putting my hot glue, a lot right there, and then I place it to the position of where I want it to be, and then I hold it down for a while. So now that it's totally dry, I'm going to glue this part down as well. So I'm just going to apply glue down there and pull this down, and I'll hold it in place for it to dry as well. Okay, that's dried. So I'm going to apply some glue to this part as well. The reason why you're doing this is so that your bow is not flipping and bouncing around when you are moving. Okay, so you press it down like so. And of course, you can do that to the back. Like I said, you can wear both the front or the back of this headpiece. So you want to design your headpiece in such a way that if your client decides to wear it this way, it will be beautiful. If she decides to wear it this way, it will also look very nice. So going to the back part, I'm going to apply some glue. And I'll press it down to dry, and I'll do the same for this side. So here we are. I have glued it down and it's looking really beautiful. Now it's time for me to attach my feathers, and I'm going to split this into two. Okay, so I can have the one half here. I want to hide it underneath right here, somewhere around here. Let's see. I want to hide it at the back right here. Okay, and then the second one will be at the back of this right here. Let's see. Okay, somewhere around here. Okay, so by the time I flip this together and I glue, I'm going to be having my feathers scattered all around. Another thing you want to do is to pluck your feathers one after the other and then insert it to wherever you want it to be. It's also fine. So just go ahead and watch me as I attach this. Okay, first of all, before I attach my feathers, I think it's going to work if I first of all glue this in place, like glue all this, the bow, the way I want them to look. glue them in place, and then I will just the feathers will be the last thing I'm going to attach. So I'm going to glue this down right there, and I'll press it down. You notice how I held it in place, right? Because that is exactly how I want it to be. So I'm holding it down. I want it to stand like so. So I press it down until it's dry. And then I flip this one forward a little. And then I press it down. Okay, so okay, so that is what I have right there. So I'm just arranging. Don't worry about this part. I'm going to cover it up actually, or eventually. So for the back, I'll glue them together. Okay, so you glue the back together like so. Okay, so this is what I have right there. So now it's time for me to attach my feathers. So I'm going to be placing one in between like this, just in the middle right there. I apply some glue. And then I close it. So I'm going to be pressing it down until it's sealed. Ensure you check where you want your feathers to be before you finally glue, because as soon as you glue, you might not be able to take it off. Okay, so I have attached one of the feathers. Now it's time for me to attach the second one. So I'll just look for a nice place to fit it in at the back right here. Okay, and then I will just glue it in. I'm going to apply my glue. And then I press it together. So can you see how beautiful my feathers look? So beautiful. So the last thing we want to do now is for us to use our trimming. I'm not sure I'm going to be needing this. Let me see. Okay, let's see. I think I can just mix both. Okay, so just cover up. So I can attach this. Okay. You can even go all the way to the back like so. So let's just do that. So I'm going to be applying some glue. Press it down. Apply more glue. I press it down. Okay, so I can stop here if I want to, and I can take it all the way round, right? So let's see. I think I'm just going to take it all the way down. So you can just go all the way to the back. Yes, that's beautiful. So apply some glue. You press it down and you apply some more glue. So I cover it up and then I continue the process of going back and forth until I'm done.